Hello, kind greetings from Malmö, Sweden. This is the third largest city in Sweden. It has 344,000 inhabitants. So how I get there? Yeah, we are living in the time of the pandemic, so unfortunately, and I was analyzing the options, where could I travel, because I didn't travel the whole year. Yeah, I had some inland trips in Romania. I'm living in Cluj in Romania. It was not so much options, so I found Sweden, which doesn't have any restriction, which is kind of strange, but yeah, it's their politics that yeah, they don't have any restrictions. People not wearing masks, not even in the supermarkets, not even inside. So it's no need of the quarantine to enter Sweden, and no need of negative COVID tests. So even after I returned to Romania, the reason is that Sweden is not making a lot of COVID tests either. So the statistics are looking kind of good here, because nobody is testing. So that's why Romania doesn't apply any restrictions from when you return from Sweden. So I can just enter the country and then go back home easily. It's without any problem. So yeah, I was flying from Cluj directly to Malmö by the low-cost airline company Wizz Air, so it was very easy to come here. And after yeah, I will discover this nice tiny city. I hope you will enjoy this vlog, and after that, in the afternoon, I will travel to Stockholm, to the capital city. There will be much more to see, and I will stay there 3 days. So yeah, I hope you will join my new vlog, and yeah, you will enjoy it. So some words about Malmö. The first written mention of the city, it's from the 13th century, from 1245, and is about the founding of the city, that it was established by the Archbishop of Lund. Lund is another tiny city here close to Malmö, and yeah, let's take a look of Malmö on the map, where it lays. So as you can see, it's very close to Copenhagen, and that's why it was important for the Archbishop of Lund to establish here a city, because it was very close to this passage to the mainland of Europe. About the naming of the city, it's very interesting. It has there are two theories about it. One of them is that the original name was Malmhaug, which means stone hill, and another one was that here in Malmö was a mill, and a maiden was ground up in this mill. Very very strange story. And Malmö, it means the ground up maiden. It's written in two words, Malmö. It means ground up maiden. This is what I read. It's very strange. I don't know if it's true or not, but these are the two theories about it. So this territory was belonging to Denmark in the 14th century, and it was the second biggest city of Denmark, because 5,000 people were living here. It was a big center of commerce, because here it was the fishing of herrings was a very common job here. So the German Hansa company came here with a lot of ships to transport the herring to their country. So it was a big market here in Malmö. You can see on the map as well that this has a center location, and currently it's as well like a node which connects Sweden to with Denmark, because the Öresund bridge it's connecting Sweden with the mainland of Europe and with Copenhagen. So this is the fastest way to get from Sweden, from Malmö to Denmark, to Copenhagen, to cross this bridge. So what happened after? It came the Treaty of Roskilde, when the Danish and the Swedish people made a treaty that after a lot of fightings and a lot of war, they will give this territory to Sweden. So this is how Malmö got under Swedish occupation. The Danish didn't respect this treaty very long, because only just 20 years later they attacked Malmö and tried to get it back, but they couldn't beat the Swedish army. So yeah, after the Treaty of Roskilde, Malmö belongs to Sweden. Another interesting fact that during the 16th century, this was the first city in Scandinavia which got the Protestant religion fully. In 1434 was constructed the first fortress of Malmö, which is called Malmöhus, and we will visit that, but we cannot see the original state of this citadel, because it was destroyed during the wars. And what we will see, it's a renovated form of this fortress from the 16th century. So it will not be boring, because yeah, this 16th century building, it's very beautiful and very interesting. So yeah, we will go there and check it. So as you can see, I'm walking through a park now, and its name is the Kungsparken. I think I will pronounce a lot of times very wrong, because I don't know Swedish, but I'm trying to pronounce similar like German. So yeah, this is the Kungsparken, and it means the park of the king. It's the oldest park of Malmö. It was established in 1872, so it's very nice and old park. This is the fortress already. We are approaching the main entrance across the bridge. So what we should know about the Malmö Castle is that it was established in 1434 by King Eric of Pomerania. He was the king of the alliance of Denmark, Norway and Sweden. This alliance existed back in the 15th century. But the castle was demolished almost completely in the beginning of the 16th century, and those times this alliance was not existing anymore. So King Christian the Third reconstructed this castle. He was the king of Denmark, as Malmö was belonging to Denmark that time. So reconstructed the castle in the middle of the 17th century, in 1630. Yeah, I expected a lot older castle here, but as you can see, yeah, it's nice, it's beautiful, but yeah, it's not like from the medieval ages, I suppose. Big renovations and reconstructions took place in the 20th century, so this is why we can see this current state of the castle. So it's interesting, and yeah, it's a tragicomedic story that James Hepburn, the Count of Bothwell, were kept here in prison in the 16th century 6 years long. It's a very strange story because he was the husband of the Queen Mary, the Queen of Scotland, and he was the third husband of this queen, and he was accused that he killed the second husband of Mary, and he was imprisoned in the Tower in London. But he was released because nobody could prove it that he was the killer, and after some years he had an accident with his ship near Bergen in Norway, and the Danish king Frederick captured him because he still thought that James Hepburn was running away from the justice, and he killed the second husband of Mary, and he was hoping for the gratitude of the Scottish queen, and this is why the Danish king imprisoned James Hepburn here. But poor James was telling them that he was already in the prison of Tower and nobody could prove him guilty, but still he was kept here very long, many years in prison in the Malmö Castle in Malmö-hus. This is the name of the Malmö Castle, and actually he died here in Denmark, but in the Draxholm Castle, not here in Malmö. So the Scottish queen was not taking care of her third husband, and probably she was searching for the fourth husband, I don't know. But yeah, it's a tragical story for James Hepburn, but very funny as well. It's interesting that we can find different kinds of museums inside of the walls of the fortress, and they have nothing to do with the history of the fortress. That's very interesting. This one is about wildlife and animals. And upstairs we can find an art museum, which is almost fully closed. I could enter only in some rooms because the others were closed. They are renovating them, but yeah, the open rooms were not so interesting, so I didn't even take recordings there. And it's very interesting that in the basement we can find an aquarium. So we can find here not only fishes and animals of the sea, but insects too. Never saw such a thing that the museum of the castle is occupying with another topic, not with the castle. I found the castle museum too.
Men så dog han ju redan som 37-åring. Och eftersom sonen då inte var myndig så fick hon gå in som förmyndarregent. Så där satt de på tronen i 12 år. Och här var kungens arbetsrum då. Eller kungarnas, det var ju flera generationer kungar. Med... Och där fick kungar då naturligtvis. Ja, precis. Så skulle vi gå där.
castle from the outside. Now we are at the garden of the castle, the Slottsraid garden. I don't know if I pronounced it well. And its main attraction is this windmill, very beautiful one. The park is nice as well. Malmö is very famous for its parks because it has a lot of green space here in the city. If you still remember my vlog about the city where I live, Cluj, I mentioned that it's a big problem, it's an issue with the city that we don't really have bigger parks where you can go to walk, and we have very few greenery. Now Malmö is the opposite. We can find here a lot of beautiful green parks with fresh air. Slottsraid garden. Yeah, maybe I should take a Swedish language course before my trip. But I know how to say thank you. Tack. This is the turning torso, constructed between 2001 and 2005. It's the tallest building in Scandinavia, 190 meters tall, and the second tallest, which hosts flats too, so people are living here. The first tallest is the Triumph Palace in Moscow. So this building was designed by Santiago Calatrava, a Spanish architect, and it hosts offices, and as I said, some people are living here. It's pretty amazing to have a flat here in this huge skyscraper, and it hosts some conference halls as well. Incredibly huge building. Unfortunately, it's not allowed to visit, to go upstairs. Only if you are finding yourself in a group of from 10 till 75 people, and you need to arrange an appointment in advance. I didn't check how does it work because I came alone to Malmö, so it was no meaning. I'm curious how much would it cost. This is like a harbor of Malmö, but you cannot see any ships. You see the seaside is very rocky. This park is called the Dania Park. It's very windy here. I try to speak louder, maybe you will understand what I want to say. We can see there the Öresund bridge. I hope you can see it. It was open to the public in 1999, and it's a very special bridge because it connects Sweden to Denmark and to the mainland of Europe. So this bridge is very special because what you can see there, it's 8 kilometers, and at the end of the bridge there is an island which was constructed artificially, so it's an artificial island, and there is a tunnel, 4 kilometers long tunnel, which connects then the end of the bridge with Denmark. So actually the whole road is 12 kilometers long from Malmö to Copenhagen. Maybe you can see over the horizon there are some buildings, and that is already Denmark there, Copenhagen. So why did they do this? Because why did they constructed this tunnel and artificial island? Because they didn't want to block the air traffic of the Copenhagen airport, which is very close to there. So that's why it's this bridge 8 kilometers plus 4 under the sea. It's very interesting and very interesting, and it's very expensive, of course, to construct this. This is the non-violent sculpture created by Carl Fredrik Reuterswärd, very famous Swedish artist and sculptor. He made this in 1985 when John Lennon was murdered. It's a Colt Magnum 365. So this is the Stortorget, the main square of Malmö. We can see King Gustav, who proclaimed back this territory from Denmark. So the statue of the Swedish king, Carl Gustav, his full name. You can see a lot of famous and beautiful buildings here on the main square. Right in front of us is the Rathuset. It means the town hall. Very beautiful building. It's maybe a fountain which is not working now. 1914. Ah, very interesting fountain. And now we can see the oldest church in Malmö. It's the Sankt Petri kyrka. It was constructed in the 14th century. It's a very old temple and very beautiful, built in Gothic style. This is the interior of the church. You can see it went through a lot of renovations. But we can still find a lot of old things. For example, this Anno Domini 1596. This is the Södergatan, the most famous shopping street in Malmö. You can find all kind of shops here. It's for the tourists who like shopping, this information. It's like the Váci street in Budapest. If you didn't watch that vlog, I'll link it for you. Really lot of shops here. Another famous square in Malmö is the Lilla Torg, which means a little square. Little but very busy. Now it's Wednesday afternoon, so it's not that crowded, but I read about it that it's very famous for the locals. Many people come here to chill, to have a drink. There are a lot of terraces and pubs here. And from the historical point of view, we can find houses which are dating back in the 17th, 18th, 19th century. You can see some very old buildings here, which were belong to the merchants from those times. Typical medieval houses. This is the city library of Malmö. It's a very beautiful building. It has a lot of rare books and manuscripts, even in English language, so if you are bored and you catch bad weather here in Malmö, then it's worth to go inside and take a look. This wing of the building is from 1940. It's very typical Scandinavian architecture, very beautiful. So this was our sightseeing trip today in Malmö. I stay only one day here, but in fact we saw everything and experienced the feeling of this city. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that's the case and you didn't subscribe yet to my channel, please do it now. If you want to stay more and longer, you can find some interesting museums too, which can be visited. One of them is the Museum of the Disgusting Food, which is yeah, I read about it. It's kind of horrible. Like they have all kind of shitty food from Asia and from Africa, and some very interesting drinks too, Korean poo liquor and another crazy stuff. So if you want to discover like that, you should go to this museum, but there are some other normal museums as well. I didn't visit there today, but we saw the most interesting and the key attractions of Malmö. So I would advise that one day is actually enough for a tourist here. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Have a nice day and goodbye.